We are doing a quiz today. I'm so excited. I love going down in the comments and seeing how you did. So before you fall asleep, remember to go in the comments and let me know what score you got. Today's quiz is out of 20 possible points, and it is all about the MLB playoffs, past and present. I should say, like, for the most part, it's like recent past and present. I'm also shooting this a couple days in advance, but I don't think any of my questions, none of my questions should be affected by what's gonna happen between filming this and posting it. I'll put a note in the description box if it does. And I just want to say that I tried to start the questions off pretty easy and then get harder and harder. So if you're just a casual MLB fan, or even just like not at all but you want to try your hand at it, I'd say stick around, see how the first few questions go for you. And I have a couple of sneaky ones at the end. My goal is for none of you to get 20 points. Let's get started with what we'll call softballs. Are we doing this? Are we gonna assign baseball terms? Yeah. Here's a couple softballs. So question number 1. I told you I'd start easy. In what month do the MLB playoffs begin? Check your calendars. In what month do the MLB playoffs begin? And the answer is October. Question number 2. Who won the 2024 World Series? Which team is the reigning champion right now? Who won the 2024 World Series? The answer is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Question number 3. How many wins does a team need to take a division series? So in the divisional round, in the division series, how many wins does a team need to move on? The answer is 3. It's a best of 5 series. Question number 4. What is the name of the trophy awarded to the World Series champion? So, what is the name of the trophy awarded to the World Series champion? The answer is the Commissioner's Trophy. We're going to start moving into some questions that maybe we can call them like meatballs, right down the middle. Your MLB Trivia 101. Question 5. Which franchise has the most World Series titles? You don't get a bonus point for telling me how many titles, but you do get bragging rights. So in the comments, we'll have like a final score report and like a bragging rights report. So which franchise has the most World Series titles? And the answer is the New York Yankees. For bragging rights, the Yankees have 27 titles. Now I have to say, I don't want to jinx it again. I'm shooting this a couple days early, but if Canada's Blue Jays keep this playoff run, this type of play going, the Yankees are not in line for 28th. Question 6. What do we call the round right before the World Series? So, the final round, the playoff finals are the World Series. What do we call the rounds right before the World Series? The answer is the League Championship Series. So, if you said the ALCS, the NLCS, you also get a point. Question 7. Since the format changed in 2002, the wildcard format is best of how many games? The wildcard round, I should say. So, since the format changed in 2022, the wildcard series is best of how many games? The answer is best of 3. I'm going to try not to make this quiz too Blue Jays heavy. But question number 8. And I'll word it to try to appeal to most people who've followed the MLB this year. Which Blue Jays star shortstop was left off of Toronto's 2025 ALDS roster due to a knee sprain? Which Blue Jays player was left off of Toronto's roster this year in the division series due to a knee sprain? The answer is Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette. I'm trying not to sound too French when I say it. Question 9. Under the current format, how many teams from each league make the MLB postseason? How many teams from each league, listen to the question, how many teams from each league make the MLB postseason? The answer, I'm giving you one last chance to change your answer. The answer is 6. 6 teams from each league. I'm not going to take arguments in the comments on this one. If you said 12, get out of here with that. And question number 10, we're halfway through. What is the home field format used in the World Series. So, let me clarify this. What's the order for the higher seed? What's the home field format in the World Series for the higher seed team? For example, I'll jump to like hockey to explain my question. The NHL playoffs, right, you would say are like 2-2-1-1-1. Yeah, that's right, 2-2-1-1-1. So, what is the home field format used in the World Series? And the answer is 2-3-2. So, if you said the higher seed hosts games 1, 2, 6, and 7, you get the point. So now we're getting into like a little bit of curveballs, you know? Like you have to be paying attention. You have to know a little bit more about baseball, its history. These are some curveballs here. Question 11. Which ballpark hosted the neutral site 2020 World Series? So, which ballpark? This is prime pandemic times. Which ballpark hosted the 2020 World Series? And I'll say this if it helps. It also hosted as a neutral site the NLCS, the National League Conference Series, in that postseason. I want the name of the stadium. You can get the city for bragging rights, but for a point, I want the sponsored naming rights. The answer is Globe Life Stadium. Nope. Let me get that again. It's Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. So if you said Arlington, Texas, you get bragging rights. If you said Globe Life Stadium, then you get bragging rights for thinking the same way I do, but getting it wrong. If you said Globe Life Field, you get a point. We're getting into curveballs here. I'm not messing around. I'm not giving out quiz points just willy-nilly. Number 12. Which pitcher holds the record for most postseason wins and for bragging rights? How many wins was it? So, for a point, which pitcher holds the record for most postseason wins? And the answer is Andy Pettit. Again, trying not to sound too French. Andy Pettit. For bragging rights, by the way, his record is for 19 postseason wins. Question 13. Which World Series ended on a Game 7 walk-off home run? And this is a two-parter for 1 point. Name the team that hit it. So you can't imagine like a better way to end a World Series with a Game 7 walk-off home run that happened once. What year was it, and what team won the World Series? The answer is the 1960 Pirates. Question 14. Name the MLB team to come back from an 0-3 deficit in a postseason series. So name the only MLB team in history to come back from an 0-3 deficit in a postseason series. And bragging rights, if you can name. So basically, what I'm asking you is the team. If you can give me the year, which series it was, and who their opponents were, let me know in the comments and I'll give you like a little crown emoji for bragging rights. The answer is the Boston Red Sox. It was in the 2004 ALCS versus the Yankees. So let me know if you get bragging rights on that. And these are the playoffs, mind you, that ended the curse of the Bambino. So maybe this question should have come earlier, but lots of bragging rights on the line. Okay, now I want to start getting into some, because I know some of you guys are like 14 for 14 right now, and I want to separate the lucky ones from the knowledgeable ones. Question 15. Let's call these ones filthy sliders. 15. Which club owns the longest postseason appearance streak? And bragging rights for how many consecutive postseason appearances that team had. So which club owns the longest postseason appearance streak? The answer is the Atlanta Braves with 14 appearances in a row. The Los Angeles Dodgers have the longest active streak. They are in their 13th straight postseason going into these playoffs. But the longest postseason appearance streak of all time was the Atlanta Braves with 14. Question 16. What is the most runs scored in one inning of an MLB postseason game? This one is inspired by again the Blue Jays, who are tearing through the Yankees when I'm filming this, and I think was it Sunday they got a 6-run inning off a grand slam from Vladdy. So I had to get a little inspiration from the local boys. But what is the most runs scored in a single inning of an MLB postseason game? And the answer, again, bragging rights if you can tell me how many runs they got. No. The question was how many runs. I guess bragging rights if you name the team. The answer is 11 runs, and it was scored by the Dodgers. It was in the 2020 NLCS against the Braves. And I'm pretty sure that they got like 10 of those 11 runs with 2 outs. Someone can fact check me in the comments, but the answer is 11. And for bragging rights, here's a ton of information. Dodgers against the Braves, 2020 NLCS, Game 3. What more can I tell you? Question 17. Who was the 2024 World Series MVP? So again, a little bit of an easier question folded in there for some. So who was the 2024 World Series MVP? And the answer is Freddie Freeman. Question 18. Which is another easy one. Maybe I'm cooling you down on the back end of this quiz. This is your warm down. Which two franchises have faced each other the most times in the World Series? Which two franchises have faced each other the most times in the World Series? For bragging rights, you can tell me how many. The answer is the Yankees and the Dodgers, and they've met 12 times in the World Series. Question 19. It looks like I keep going blurry. I don't know what's going on. Question 19. Who is the only rookie position players, non-pitcher, to win the World Series MVP? Who is the only rookie position player to win World Series MVP? Team and year for bragging rights. The answer is Jeremy Pena, and that was with the 2022 Astros. By the way, a video on the Astros coming very, very soon. It's been on the list forever. In question 20, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but if you're on 19 points right now, this is a big one. Who is the only player to hit for the cycle in MLB postseason history? Who is the only player to hit for the cycle in MLB postseason history? Again, major bragging rights if you can name the year, the series, and the opponents. So the answer is Brock Holt with the Red Sox in the 2018 ALDS versus the Yankees. Brock Holt. And guess what, guys? Of course there's a surprise final question, because I'm thinking at this point, if there are a few of you guys on even scores or even we need a tiebreaker. For the sake of everyone here, we need a tiebreaker. So here's one final question. Consider it bonus points. If you're on 19 out of 20, this could bump you up. Here's one final question for you. Bonus question. Who is the only MLB player to win an ALCS MVP and an NLCS MVP, and then also the World Series MVP? So who is the only player to win both the American League Conference Series MVP and the National League Conference Series MVP, and then also, you would imagine, the World Series MVP? bragging rights for the years, I guess, and the teams that he played with. Who is the only MLB player to win an ALCS MVP, an NLCS MVP, and a World Series MVP? The answer to the bonus question is Oral Hershiser. Hershiser, yeah. This was before my time, I'm so young. So I should say some of it is before my time. I'm not that young. He won the NLCS MVP and the World Series with the Dodgers in 1988, and then the 1995 ALCS MVP with Cleveland. And that is today's MLB playoffs quiz. Don't forget to let me know how you did in the comments. Let me know if I got any of my facts wrong in the comments. And let me know which quiz you'd like to see next. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.